Okay, happy Sunday, everybody. Today we're going to be learning about a huge topic I am super excited to learn about. I know it's like one of the most frequently asked questions that we get. And we have Jamie with us. She's been in the top 10 numerous times, and she is a senior rep. And she hosts between 6 to 8 parties a month, give or take. Obviously, we know each month can be different. So I am super excited to have her come on today and share everything she's learned. And she shared with me that what she's learned has just been by watching some trainings, picking up tips and tricks here and there. So I'm super excited for her to come on and talk to us about parties. So we'll go ahead and let Jamie get started and share her knowledge with us, so that we can all take notes and implement. So thanks for coming, Jamie.
Yeah, thanks for having me. You can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So thanks for letting me join today. I'm happy to share anything, everything that I've learned. I have been with Zyia since July. So to be honest, when I started, I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know what I was signing up for. I didn't know how committed I'd be or how this would go. I've never done something like this. And I remember telling my husband, like, oh, I'll just, we'll see where this is in 6 months. And I now have parties booked into June. So I'm committed now for at least a couple more months, and I'm loving it. I'm fully committed and excited to continue this journey and hoping to continue to grow. So wanted to share some of the things. I made some notes and some highlights on kind of what I've gone through and what I've learned, like Courtney said, from the team I'm part of, and from even the marketing page or trainings that I've attended. Everything's been super helpful, and I've kind of picked pieces here and there that I've tried to implement. I think the biggest thing for me is follow through with customers and follow up. So when I am hosting parties, I message all of my guests to see if there's anything that I can help them with. And that, I think, just establishes that rapport, establishes that relationship. And I don't know if this is common for everybody. Again, I feel like I do what works for me, and it's just worked out really well. But I track all of my customers' orders. So I utilize the back office, and I export an Excel spreadsheet to have all of my customers' orders on, however long of a period I'm looking back. I track the specifics on what they ordered. So I put in their specific order items so that when those items are delivered, I will track their shipping dates. And when those items are delivered, I'll shoot them a message and say, hey, it looks like your gray drawstring hoodie was delivered. Have you had a chance to try it? And I feel like that follow-up is fantastic. For one, it just provides good customer service, but it also continues that relationship, because if someone says, yeah, I love it, then that's my opportunity when I can say, hey, what do you think about throwing a party? What do you think about earning some free product? What do you think about, getting some new light and tights? So that, I think, is like the number one time that I get my hostesses. And even if somebody says, now is not the right time, or maybe when it's closer to summer, I think I learned this through one of the trainings that I attended. I can't take credit for it, but if somebody says, now is not the right time, instead of saying, I think in my past, I would have said, oh, okay, well, thank you, have a good day. Now I say, what do you think about following up in 2 months? Or what do you think, I'm booking parties through June. How about we throw you on for the calendar in June? And I think that's been just extremely helpful. I have, I think 4 or 5 parties already booked for May, because people are excited for summer, excited for new wardrobes, and just excited to continue shopping, but they know that they're attending a lot of parties now and they just don't want to commit right now. So we book out a couple months. Certainly, if anybody has any questions.
I have a question, Jamie. This is amazing. Can I ask you about tracking? So when you put them in the spreadsheet, is that something you kind of look at each day, and it's like, okay, so say Amanda's package is arriving tomorrow, so I'm going to make sure that I check my sheet each day to see when it's arriving. Is that how you do the tracking? You just kind of check it each day to see whose name you have written down and when they're arriving?
Yeah, that's a good question. I used to do it pretty much daily, and then I decided that it was just too much, honestly, for my work-life balance, because I work a full-time job during the day as well. So I try to commit to like Monday nights, I go in and follow up on customer orders and try to keep it to 1 or 2 nights a week so that I am doing it consistently for my sanity and kind of know that pattern. And each week it might be a little bit different, but it's usually 1 or 2 nights a week. And I've also realized that, I want to follow up timely on my customer orders, but I've realized that if I follow up with someone a day or two after they got it, they most likely haven't tried it on yet. So it's better, even if it's like 5 days later, to say, hey, it looks like it was delivered last Saturday. Have you had a chance to try it? What do you think? Rather than doing it the day of or the day after. So I utilize that. That's, I guess, my number one tool that I utilize. I also started to, and this wasn't something that I was doing initially, but I don't know why I wasn't. I was only following up on customer orders, so the people that ordered product from me, but there are a lot of guests in the parties that I attend, unfortunately, that don't end up placing orders. So that's one thing I've gotten a few hostesses from going back and messaging past guests who didn't place an order. Because, I think we know everybody who didn't place an order for whatever reason. Maybe they didn't want to spend the money. They didn't, it just didn't work out at the time. They forgot to place their order. There's a number of different reasons why somebody doesn't place an order in a party, but it doesn't mean that they may not want to host. So I've been going back and following up on those guests to make sure that I ask them if they want to host and if they're interested in doing something in the future. And then I also, this hasn't been a huge hit, but it has added some hostesses. I think every little bit counts. But I have, in each party that I do, I incentivize guests to book a party for getting their current hostess some extra product. So I've done either 2 or 3 parties. The host gets an extra, any free item under $32, which I'm in the US, so it's a little bit different pricing, but any free item under a certain dollar amount or a free bomber bra. The guests usually are willing to help out their hostess. And even if somebody doesn't book during the party, I will follow up in the next day or two after the party closed and say, hey, I know you're thinking about hosting a party. We need one more person to book a party to earn your friend a free tank or to earn your friend a free bra. And that's been really helpful because if people know that, like, if I'm reaching out to them directly and they can help their hostess, they generally will kind of jump on board or, again, say, maybe not now, but I'd be looking at it in a couple months, and I'm happy to book it out a couple months for them.
Can I jump in with the question again, Jamie?
Yeah, thank you.
Because I know other people are probably maybe thinking the same. So when you reach out to them in the party, do you privately message them?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of times, so I'm sure we all run into this, they won't always see our messages.
Yeah.
So I do, there are some people that I'll friend so that they'll see my messages, but only if they've had more interaction in the group. I also will make a post in the group saying, hey, I've sent out messages. This is how you find them. And I'll do even a screenshot video of how to find the messages because somebody, a lot of people don't know how to find them. I will let the host know, if, hey, I've sent messages to all of your friends in the group. If anybody reaches out to them or out to you, let them know to check their messages, and I'd be happy to help. Or trying to get some of that's done earlier in the party, just trying to create that connection because once they get a message from you, they're more apt to see the message for follow-up.
That's amazing. Okay, perfect.
And one thing I didn't mention too, when I'm following up on customer orders, it's sometimes if I go into my private messages and see that they didn't see my message the first time, I will end up texting them, and no one seemed to have an issue with that. Their phone numbers are in our system. So I'll just say, hey, this is Jamie with Zyia. I see your item was delivered. Kind of the same message I'll do when I do it through Facebook. Or I've sent them an email, and I've gotten a couple hostesses through email by following up on their orders just because they didn't see my Facebook request. And then I randomly Facebook message my friends. So to be honest, I was messaging people probably about a month ago, and I got a text back or a message back from someone saying, yeah, I'll host a party. And my jaw dropped. So I think it's important to message people that you may not think will ever host a party, because this is somebody I used to work with. I wasn't super close with her, but we're Facebook friends, and I messaged her, and I just didn't know if she'd have any interest, and she'd never heard of Zyia, but she was like, sure, I'll do a party. And like I said, my jaw dropped. I was like, all right. So sometimes I throw messages out there and just kind of assume it's going to be a no, and I'm okay with that. Sometimes it gets kind of defeating. I had a kind of a rough November, December, and I decided to just kind of hit January hard. But I think that some of it was, I kind of laxed back a bit and wasn't as proactive. So that definitely kind of can play in on how many hostesses I have, on how much initiative I put in. But yeah, message Facebook friends, it's worked super, super well. So how many I would recommend per week for parties? I've done up to 3 a week. And like I said, I have a full-time job, and I have 2 young kids, and 3 a week was a bit much for me. I do use Post My Party. So that's been a huge, huge, huge time saver. So the 3 parties that I ran, I tried to combine them into one party and have like a hostess battle. But some of my hostesses said that they've attended ones like that and weren't really interested. So I did run 3 separate parties just a couple weeks ago, and that was a bit much for me. Just trying to go live in each of those groups and really make sure I was interactive while keeping up with, day-to-day life. So I prefer no more than 2 a week, just personally. But if you can do a group party, I think that would be a great option as well. And I go live in my parties, usually on the last day or the second to last day, and just talk about hosting. So I thank everybody for attending the party, and then I talk about what the incentives are for hosting, and how they can help their friend if we get so many more hosts to commit. And I think a lot of people are scared because they don't, they think about hosting, but they don't realize that they only need 3 orders for a certain dollar amount to earn the main level of rewards, that it doesn't need to be a huge party to be successful. So I've gotten some hostesses through that live as well. Some people have committed. And let's see. Occasionally, I haven't done this a ton. I know I see a lot of, see if I can. So how long I run my parties. So I have one more tip to find hostesses, and that kind of wraps it up for that piece of it. But I'd be happy to talk more about how long my parties run and how successful they are. But I occasionally will run a special. So this weekend I'm running one. And again, these aren't overly successful, but they definitely add a couple hostesses. So everything I feel like adds up and kind of builds up. But I am running a special for anybody who commits this weekend to hosting a party anytime between now and June, that they will get a free tank after their party is completed. So I use my hostess rewards to buy these items and ship them to myself, and then ship them out to people. So it's not a huge dollar amount out of my pocket, but I've gotten one party so far this weekend, and I posted it Friday night. So I would consider that a win. One party is one party, and it's always helpful. So I booked a party for next month. And like I said, I haven't done a ton of these, but I will probably later today private message people who have been on the kind of considering having a party, and say, hey, just want to make sure that you saw the promo that I'm running in my group. We're having a deal this weekend for if you book a party anytime between now and June, that you get a free tank after your party is completed. Just want to make sure you saw that promo. Do you have any interest? How about we book you into April? And I think that's always I think that's, again, something I learned through these groups and trainings, is to leave it open-ended. So instead of just saying, here's the deal, want to make sure you saw it, say, what do you think about that? Or how about we book you into April? Or I have a week open the first week of May. What is it? How does that sound to you? So that's been really good, because it initiates some sort of response. Even if it is a no, then I can say, is right now not a good time? Or are you just not interested? Because then again, I can kind of open it up to maybe now it's just not working for them. And, I have someone who said, I'm really trying to lose the extra weight and I just don't want to buy a bunch of clothes right now. I'm hoping by summer. And I said, well, how about I follow up at the end of May and we look for summer parties. And so I keep a calendar. It's actually part of my customer order spreadsheet. And I have just a regular old school calendar where I will put on there follow up with Janine or follow up with Samantha. And then I can have it on my calendar so I know when I need to follow up with those people, because I think that's important that if they say they may be considering hosting a party, that I do that follow up and don't just forget about that option. So, good question. Does it have to be a level 2 to give the tank or a level 1? This time I wasn't real specific on what level they needed to get to. I've actually been super fortunate that I would say my average party, I've had some really successful parties, but I've only had one party ever that had 0 orders. And I would say my average party is probably around level 2. So like $600 for me. So it's not a huge concern for me. In the past, when I've tried to incentivize people as far as getting a product for hosting a party, I have indicated that it should be a level 2 party. I think if I was going to do something more extreme, then I definitely would ask people to hit that second reward level. But like I said, I've been just super fortunate that my parties have been pretty successful. I do run my parties. So I set up a party on Friday night or Saturday morning and invite the hostess for them to invite their friends. And then the party, I post some kind of how the party works and graphics about the party starting on Monday throughout the weekend. And again, I have that all scheduled on Post My Party. And then Monday morning, I begin the party. I post pretty much constantly through Friday, and then I have the party open until Sunday night, just with some, final details over the weekend for them to finalize their orders. So sharing the Excel for tracking. Yeah, I don't know where to share that, but I would be happy to share how I utilize that and what that looks like.
Sorry. So did you say your parties run Friday till Sunday?
So I tell the hostess Monday through Sunday. So I set it up I have one that starts tomorrow. So I set it up Friday night for the hostess. I just put like the link on there and I put a graphic that says party starts Monday. Feel free to shop, browse, or ask questions at any time. And then I invited the hostess. Usually it's Saturday morning just with my schedule, but I invited the hostess and said, hey, your party's ready. Start inviting friends. And then today I will post a kind of how the party works and the boutique style and tips about Zyia. And then I started posting the return policy as well prior to the party, just so everybody can see what that looks like. So when the product's being posted, they don't have quite that hesitation. And then the party officially begins tomorrow morning and will run through Sunday. Any other questions?
This was really, really great, Jamie. So many takeaways. I think one huge takeaway too is the tracking that you do. Like how many people fall through the cracks of potential hostess, or maybe, like you said, people that we never even thought would be interested in hosting. That spreadsheet and tracking those people in the orders, I think is so huge. And that's a huge eye opener for me. Definitely something I lack on.
I didn't do that initially. And I think it was when someone had reached out to me about exchanging a product. And I was like, wait, I didn't follow up on them. Like, how did I miss that? Because I'd been utilizing just like the emails, the shipping emails, to follow up with people. And I keep those. So what I do is when I get the shipping notification emails, I put those into a specific email inbox. And then once I've tracked that, I'll move it into a separate folder saying shipping completed. And I was like, how did I not follow up on this? How did I miss it? So then I realized that I could pull all of that information from the back office, and it's been super helpful.
Yeah, that's so huge. I think that's such an amazing takeaway. to be able to, track those and then follow up and add, that creates that connection too, right? It's more than just buying. It's like buying from a, Lululemon. You don't have that personal connection that builds that connection, and then it opens up the conversation for more. So that is so huge. Does anybody else have any questions? I know some questions were how long Jamie runs her parties, so we've talked about that. All the ways to find hostesses. I'm trying to think if there's any other questions that we have for you.
I can say most of the hostesses that I've had, I don't personally know. So I think that like I said, I think once you get a party and can find hostesses, you'll continue to grow and grow and grow. It is hard if you kind of take a step back and don't have any parties, then to find hostesses, you have to kind of push a little bit more, be proactive. And even following back up with past hostesses, I've had people who have hosted more than one party. So I just I had someone host a party in January. She just attended one last month, and then she signed up again for June. So she knows that she needs a new summer wardrobe and wanted to give it some time, but is ready to get those incentives again. And she's one I'm trying to push a little bit to see if she wants to sign up, as part of our team. But it's been while she's thinking about that, it's been a great option for her to continue to host.
That's amazing. Do you find that you get parties booked off of parties?
Yeah, that's the biggest part that that's where I get most of my hostesses. I had a party in January. The hostess was fantastic. I always think that helps a little bit. But she had a $2,000 party, and I got 6 hostesses off of her party.
Wow.
I think she probably
some hostess coaching?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I do some. I probably could do a little bit more, but I send the tips for hosting a successful party. I remind people that they don't, they can share the link, that people don't need to have Facebook if they want to shop, to let them know if they receive any questions to reach back out to me, and I'd be happy to help. That's one thing I didn't mention either, is that I have had a couple customers who don't have Facebook, and so I have my first texting party in 2 weeks. So I'm going to try that out, and I have another one that I think I'm going to book for April, because she didn't know that. She said, I didn't even know that was an option, that we could do something outside of Facebook, and she doesn't live local to me. So I'm going to try the texting party and see how that goes. I offered something like Zoom, and she just thought people were too busy, that texting would work a little bit better. So we're going to give it a shot.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Do you mind posting in the page your tips that you send your hostess?
Yeah, they're ones I pulled off of the marketing page.
Okay.
It's one of the graphics on there, but I'm happy to share that.
Okay, that's amazing. I think what else was that really was like a huge eye opener for me that I have never heard of either or thought of, was when you go live at the end of your party and you talk hostess, like going live and talking about the hostess option. That's huge, because it's not just like this graphic, like, for me, I just post up a graphic like host a party, whereas when you're going live, you're able to explain in depth what it is. So that's huge as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else.
Yeah, it's been great. I try to throw in information about why I joined the Zyia team, and joining the group and becoming a rep, and all those incentives as well in that hostess conversation. But it's usually only a 5 or 10 minute live that I do, but it's been very helpful, I think, because it takes it kind of down to the basics, and people aren't as intimidated.
That's an amazing idea. Leanne has a question. Do you invite the party people to a VIP Facebook group, and have they been regular customers?
Yeah. So I used to just post at the end of the party, once the party was completed, saying, I actually still do this, but I've expanded it. So I post after the party's completed, I will post a post within the group saying, hey, thanks for everybody who, participated or ordered. Sarah earned, this many rewards, and I'd be happy for you to continue to follow my VIP page to continue to see deals and updates and whatever. And I've had a few people join that way, but what I started doing is I give a gift card during every party, and I have 6 currently in my party. I have 6 posts that the guests have to complete, or if they complete them, they get a entry into the gift card drawing, and one of them is joining my VIP page. So I tried to create that as part of that incentive because I've trying to grow my group. It's not a huge group right now, but they have some of my VIP members from the parties have continued to be great customers. I do get most of my sales from my parties, since that is my main focus, and I think most people are wanting to help out their hostess and order through that. But I have continued to get some great customers from my VIP page through those parties.
This is so great. This is going to be an amazing resource that everyone can continue to refer back to. So if nobody has, Jazz, can you share those 6 things they have to complete? I do a gift card, but I still only get a few.
Yeah, I don't know. I could probably try to ramble them off, but Courtney, if it's okay, I can follow. I can send those to you. Would that work?
Yeah, that'd
you
be
to share?
great. And then we can post it, because that's another like huge thing, because that's building engagement, right? That's how you're building engagement in your group, by having them participate in the post.
Yeah, and honestly, it delays the orders a bit because people are waiting for those gift cards, for that gift card announcement to be announced in the group before they place the orders. But I think a lot of people end up waiting till towards the end of the party or the weekend to order anyway. So I have all of the, Monday through Friday, I have those 6 posts, or Monday through Thursday, and then Friday morning I announce the winner, and then I end up getting most of my orders Friday, Saturday, Sunday anyways.
Is it just one giveaway you do in your group?
Yeah, I've done more than one if it's a quiet party, and I had one of the most recent templates that I was running in my parties was 2 giveaways, but I've moved it back to just one $10 gift card because I was trying to gain most of that engagement in those 6 posts, I guess.
Does she mind sharing what she does for the giveaway?
Tammy wants your giveaway. No,
what do you do for
cool.
your giveaways, Jamie? Like what's like the giveaway that you do in your parties?
So I give away a $10 gift card, and then it's based on the interaction in those 6 posts. So anybody who comments, and it's like, I mean, it's a lot of the, I'll share it with Courtney, but it's a lot of the polls that we'll see in the marketing page on how familiar are you with Zyia, where are you at with your order, how do you know the hostess, join my VIP group, what products are you interested in? And then there's one more. Can't remember what it is, but those, so those are the ones that I really want to get their involvement in, especially if they're like, I'd like to know if they're new to Zyia. I'd like to know, how they know the hostess, or I'll try to, I've been trying to include one on what profession they work in. If they work, if they have a job, because then if it's nursing, then I may know to kind of add in some additional nursing posts, or, if they, I don't know, if they work in the office, then I can kind of gear things, kind of the outfits and products that way. And that's been helpful. So I do one $10 gift card, and with those 6 posts.
That's amazing.
Yeah, this is amazing, Jamie. We're so inspired.
Too many giveaways. That's my problem.
Too many giveaways.
Just to hear you do one giveaway and get like that many sales, like that's amazing. Like that's incredible.
Yeah, and I've played around with it a bit, and it seems that this just one giveaway has worked well for me. Like I said, I've done others, but then people order and they're like, and then they win a gift card and they don't want to place another order, or they're like, hey, can I apply that to this order? And it just gets messy. So I've been trying to just do one giveaway throughout the whole party, and then people are, I think, more interested in participating in those posts because they know it's their one opportunity to win money to spend.
Really good. Yeah.
Lots of amazing tips, Jamie.
Yeah, this is really helpful. I can't wait to get the replay up for everybody.
It's great.
Yeah, this is really great. Does anybody have any other questions before we let everybody go? Can't wait to start implementing these. You've really inspired, I think, a lot of us by the comments to start tracking.
That is so key. Yeah, the tracking.
Yeah.
Can you share like your like what your spreadsheet kind of looks like? Just like the platform, or I love to.
Yeah, I'll share that. with you, Courtney, on how we get that to everybody, but I'm
Yeah.
happy to share that.
Yeah, this is amazing, Jamie. Thank you so much for sharing today your tips and
You're
tricks.
welcome.
This is such a huge and topic where probably one of the most frequently asked questions as well. So I can't wait to get this up so everybody can dive into the replay and start implementing all your amazing tips. So I'm so happy
And I
that
hope it works for everybody.
yeah. Oh yeah, I think it's going to be amazing. And it's, it's just these small little things that we kind of forget to do over time. Like the follow-up, right? We think, sometimes it's the first to fall to the wayside when we get busy, but it's really like one of the small things you can do to really maximize everything.
Right. And the follow-up, be prepared that it's not always positive. Sometimes you will, we all have those customers who are like, this didn't work, or I need to exchange. And sometimes those are like, oh, like it's kind of, defeating a little bit, but it's just it's a good opportunity to just figure out what didn't work, how you can help them, how you can provide that good customer service and doing an exchange, which then might lead to another sale or in the future. So it's, being okay with that and kind of working through it.
Yeah. This is so great. Thank you so much again, Jamie. I'm going to get the replay up and then we can share with everybody. But I appreciate you coming on and talking about this amazing topic with us and giving us all these amazing tips.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. Okay. So we will let you guys go and have an amazing Sunday. And I guess we'll see you again next week. Thanks, Jamie.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day.
Bye, guys.